Welcome to the Stronger Together podcast brought to you by Standpoint Strength and Conditioning. I'm your coach, Kenny Marquardt. Today I'm joined by Lenny Hess. I tell Lenny this in the podcast, so you're going to hear this again, but Lenny is he's my definition of success for those who are members at our gym. He's kicking ass at the age of 67, which is, as I, again, acknowledge, it's not that old. But it is a time where people start to say they can't do certain things, and he is doing all the things. And I look up to him in that way and hope I can be doing the things that he is doing in what'll be 25 years for me. So yeah, that's awesome. We talk about that. We talk about how he got started at the gym. We talk about a couple other things. So listen in. He's just an overall great dude, guy to look up to, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, see ya. Write that down. All right, Lenny.
Hey.
Glad you're here. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. My
I
pleasure.
sent you a message about this a while ago, and I thought you were just ignoring me because you didn't want to. But
I kind of was. I just figured I'd see you, and I didn't see you for like weeks. I know I did see you, then I felt weird about, not responding to the message. So you know how it goes.
I do actually know how that goes. Sometimes it's just easier to pretend like it didn't happen and move on.
I was a little scared too.
Totally. I'm glad you said that because most people are. I've done I don't know, hundreds of these at this point, so I don't care anymore. But I do know what it's. I remember in the first couple I did, I was like, this is horrifying. I don't like the fact that something I said is going to be permanent.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you acknowledge that because I think most people are scared, and then most people afterwards they're like, that was no big deal. That was fun.
Well, after the 3 or 4 shows I've done with Joe Rogan, I felt this was kind of lowering the bar a little bit. But
how dare you? We have about the same listenership. I got my podcast or my Spotify contract was probably about the same as his, I imagine. So yeah.
Good for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That would go on your yacht and watch a UFC fight on it.
That's right. We'll do that right after this. I'll meet you at the marina.
I mean, the UFC fight will actually be on the yacht.
That's right. Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah. We'll go to international waters and do whatever we want.
Yes.
So sometimes I try and remember how people started at the gym, and I think, and sometimes I ask people, but I'm pretty sure I remember you starting in our Amanda's Fit to Ski program, like 10 years ago, something like that.
Whenever that first happened. So Amanda and I were talking about it, and she thinks it was shortly after she started working there. And so she thinks it was probably 10 years ago. But it was a year maybe before that. What do you call your Saturdays that you have open for people to come? Like free tryouts?
Oh, that. Yeah, that I don't remember because that's actually that's about a 10-year-old thing too. So I don't know. Good question. That was probably a community Saturday or something along those lines.
It was a Saturday, and it was something I saw on Facebook or something. So I thought about coming in. So I don't know if you were there. So it was whenever it was after you'd been there. I don't know if you actually owned the gym at the time or not. And I didn't know you, and I came in on a Saturday. And that was, a class, and I thought, man, there's a lot of rowing machines in here. I just had no idea what CrossFit was or anything. And
sure.
So it was kind of intimidating, and a little bit anyway. It just is. It just is. When you're first time there, it's going to be different for people. But and then I saw the post about this Fit to Ski, and I thought, all right, it's whatever it was, September, and I better start looking. And I worked out before. Years ago I started working out at New Mex on Boyer, and they had these unweighting treadmill machines, and they worked with people with scoliosis, I think, and so it's just like to take pressure off their backs, and so they could exercise. And then they started working with high school athletes. And I mean, you can just run super fast when you take, 25 pounds off yourself with this vest that unweights you. And then they had vibration plates, and you'd work out with those, and not lifting the vibration plate, but actually.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
And they had a few trainers that I went through there. And then I worked out with Jeff Hurst had a gym, and it was called 15 and Fit. So it's 15 minutes basically of just pushing weight till you couldn't push it anymore. I mean, I'm paraphrasing kind of how.
No, yeah, for sure. Yep, no, it makes sense.
It was all right. and then yeah, then I did the Fit to Ski, and I didn't continue at the gym right after that, but I think I waited like to the next year and I did the Fit to Ski again, and then I started doing personal training.
Yep.
And it's been with Amanda ever since.
Yeah.
And it's awesome, you know, because I mean, and you hear this again and again and again, but I'm the type of person that needs, you know, some accountability. And I'm not going to go if I don't have it. I used to belong to SWAC years and years ago, and I paid them, you know, they took $30 a month out of my bank account every month, and I rarely went.
Forever, yeah.
And that's the way gyms seem to like it, you know?
It's true.
I mean, I would think that'd be great. You got all this, you know, recurring revenue happening, and you don't have to, you know, facilitate anyone because
yeah.
Paying you. But,
well, I always say, can you imagine if the amount of people that they need to show up to pay their bills actually showed up? Like if they had all 600 people paying $30 a month, if they all showed up, like what kind of a nightmare that would be?
I know.
That would be a shit show. In fact, they call that January a lot of times.
Like having the whole city of Sandpoint flush their toilet at the same time. Like, what's going to happen? You're going to run out of water and the sewer plant's going to explode. And, yeah.
January at the Globo Gym. Yep. Same analogy there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so a couple things on that because it's worth acknowledging. I think what you said, you are like most people, like they need accountability. And a lot of people have said that. But I think a lot of people don't. They're ashamed of that. Like they feel this, like they're letting themselves down, or they're not. I don't know. They're lazy or whatever it is. But the odds are not the odds, but the fact of the matter is that most people need the accountability of somebody saying, "Hey, I'm here, and I'm going to be waiting for you, and you've paid for this, so like, you better show up." And that works for. I mean, it does really work.
Well, so. and you know, I mean, I haven't had it happen because I'm usually there. I mean, if I miss a day, I'm gonna contact somebody that I'm not going to be there. Hopefully, like maybe the day before, if it's not a few weeks before, and I know I'm going to be gone. But if it's the morning of, and I'm just like, you know, not doing good that morning, and I'm not going to come in, I let somebody know. And I would imagine if I didn't let somebody know, well, in fact, that happened. Right.
That happened. I was laughing about because that happened like a couple of months ago.
Right. Because I think Amanda had asked if I could come in at an earlier time in a text, and I typed in, "Sure, I could come in then," and then I got a text from her, "Hey, I thought you were coming in," and I thought, you know, well, I never heard back from you, and then I get there and I had pressed send. You saw that. So I showed you the text.
Yeah.
So
because there was three of us that were like, well,
where's Lenny?
Maybe we should go to his house. Like, should we check on Lenny? Like, just, I don't know.
Really
because it's not like you know, it's not, we don't often go like to make house calls, but like you are the kind of person, you're pretty organized, put together. So the fact that you just kind of didn't show up at a certain time, we were like, huh, that's odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you had three people wondering where you were, and so yeah, it happens. Like people are paying attention, and I think that level of accountability is what most people need, and that's
I just, you know, I like, you know, just to talk about the personal training versus the class, and I'm sure that the same thing would happen if I was going to a class, right, with a coach and a class. If I was going to the 8 o'clock class, and if I showed up there every day, I'm going to let somebody know, you know, if I'm not going to show up, right?
Totally.
Because I'm there at 8 o'clock every day, and then all of a sudden I'm not, and I'd never let anybody know that I was on vacation or whatever. But anyway.
That just happened in that class too, actually. Somebody who's always there wasn't there, and we're like, oh man. Like, so we touch base. But there is, like, there's a little bit of a difference in that, and I think that people look at, like, if they've never been in a gym like ours, they think like a group class is like everybody's, I don't know, dancing. I think that's what they think. Like it's a choreographed thing and they're trying to keep up. But realistically, like people are splitting the bandwidth of a coach in the gym. Like they're splitting the hour with 12 other people. And so there's a amount of bandwidth that we can pay attention to that accountability and that like level of what they need and blah, blah. Like, so it can be a great solution. it also might not be the best solution for somebody. And it is nice to have just the one on, like, when we're preparing for one person, we're preparing for that person. And that is exactly what we're going to do. And you're not going to you might not do stuff you don't like. Sometimes we'll make you do it anyway. But for the most part, if you don't like doing something, we want to make it fun for you. So we can do that.
Well, yeah. And after, 10 years, if it's been that long that I've been working with Amanda, I mean, she knows me pretty well, and she knows my vulnerabilities, which is really important because I'm 67 years old, and I still work, and I still want to ski, and I still want to travel and hike and do all that kind of stuff. So, if I'm just going to a gym and working out without any, supervision, I can do that, but because I know enough now. But I mean, if I just started saying, I'm going to start going to the gym, damn it, and I just go to the gym and I don't have, somebody there, if I didn't know what I'm doing, I would possibly hurt myself, I mean, just thinking I can do this or that, and just be wrong about that, or do something wrong, or make a movement wrong, or use a machine wrong, or, whatever. So
I think that we provide, like, an individual coach provides a great set of guardrails of, like, you can definitely do more. Like, there are times when we might nudge you to do a little bit more than you will on your own.
Oh yeah.
And there's also times we'll nudge you to do less than you might on your own. Yeah. And that's a kind of a fine balance for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so just in terms of what you just said, you're kind of living the dream, man. Like, there's some stuff I know you went through. There's some hard, but, like, you're living a pretty sweet age of 67, which, again, I don't know how you feel about what I just said, but, like, you're traveling. You skied how many days last year?
Skied? Oh,
yeah.
Last year.
Well, yeah. God, sorry, that's probably not a good watermark.
For skiing, but
let's ignore last year.
Probably got 25 days in, and that was including a trip to Chamonix, which we did. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, I am living the dream, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's pretty good life, and I've been doing it for quite a while. It's just kind of balancing work. I still own 7B TV. I'm still a Dish Network retailer, and nobody buys Dish Network anymore. I don't have an office anymore because it was like the Maytag repairman in there, because no one gets regular traditional TV under the age of like 85. No, that's not true. But
not even with the van. I felt like that would have been the new thing, was like people putting satellite in their vans.
Well, there's that, but so that's Starlink, right? So Starlink
that's now Starlink, right? But I would have thought,
as a Dish dealer, I'm now able to sell Starlink.
Oh, cool!
Pretty cool, because I've been installing it for people, and I still will. But they have installation people now that are pretty good, so I can sell it, and then the installation people come from somewhere else and do it. And at some point they'll let us start installing it as retailers. It's kind of new for Dish and Starlink, this deal that they made. But anyway, but that being said, I mean, I'm still, a lot of doctors would say, "You're doing what?" But I still I still climb ladders, and I'm not like the guy that puts up his Christmas lights once a year and falls off his ladder because he doesn't ever go on a ladder. I mean, I've been climbing ladders most of my life, and I don't want to jinx myself, by saying this.
I was going to say,
I'm really, really cut in when I'm on that ladder, and when I put the ladder up, and when I position it, and when I move it, and and I lift it, and I take it off the truck, and all these things. I mean, I'm very conscious of what's going on, and and I mean, you could lose your balance like that and fall off a ladder. Don't get me wrong. I know.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, it's
no, but I think it's like, the living the dream. I know that's somebody. I was on a podcast once, and they told me that. I was like, hold on a second. Whose dream is this? Let me tell you about some things. So the idea being, though, that, like, you're very active. You're able to like in this stage of your life where you probably aren't working to the level that you were, if I had to guess. Like there's probably a peak of like, okay, you're driving hard, you're doing the thing, and now you're kind of waning a little bit, and you're enjoying the fruits of the labor that you've put in over the last 40 years to say, hey, cool, like I am going to go travel and ski, and I'm going to ski, again, on a good year, hopefully 30, 40, 50 days. Yeah. And that's awesome because that's not everybody. There's actually, you're kind of a rarity, whether you know that or not. Like people at a certain point, they get that retirement age and they haven't kept up. They haven't like just kept moving. So they're not able to do a lot of those things, unfortunately.
Yeah. That keep moving that you just said is a big deal when people get into their 60s. I mean, because I see it. I go into people's homes that are my age or even younger sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing is sitting there in their living room with their spouse or whatever. If the heat cranked up to 85 or whatever in the middle of the winter with their, Fox News on the big screen TV 24/7. And that's what they do. That's all they do.
Yep.
And they might go fishing or something, which is great, but,
sure.
But that's not me. I mean,
no.
It's not for me. And Karin, my partner, and I, we've got plans we're going to Norway in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And so that's a cruise, which is kind of out of we don't usually do cruises and stuff, but it's going to be an active cruise, kind of an adventure cruise. And we're going to do a lot of, stuff off the boat, and then do a little after the cruise is over. We're going to do like a 4-day trip around Norway. So that's going to be awesome. It's the middle of the summer here, so I'm missing that. But so what? I'm going to Norway, and I'm Norwegian, so I've never been there, and Anyway, so we're doing that, and then a little later we're going. My girlfriend Karin and her friend. They put in for the Wave. So it's a lottery that the government, it's wilderness area that's just a little south of the Utah-Arizona border. You actually enter the area in Utah, then you cross the borderline and you go park in this parking lot. And it's about a 3.5 mile hike into this beautiful, it's a screensaver on, one of the Apple OS.
Oh, really?
Years ago. Yeah. It's this beautiful, I don't know what you call it, but it's the rock formation anyway. And it's millions and millions of years old. And it's like a little bowl. And then there's all kinds of other things to see around there. So it's kind of like a mecca now that we do. And it's really hard to get these permits. I mean, it's really hard. They put in every month for a permit. And Karin, between Karin and her friend, they've won it, I think, 8 times now. Over
how many years? Yeah.
Over the past maybe 6-7 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I think this one coming up, and I wasn't going to go, but now I guess I am. So it's in September. Well, it's still really hot there. Like one time in July, and it was like 110 by the time we were coming out of there. I mean, literally, probably the desert floor was hotter than that, and it was hot. So I think in July, going that time, I'm not going to do July again, but I'll do September. And I think we did it September last year, a little even earlier in September, and it wasn't too bad. So we're doing that, and then we're going in October. We're going to go on a trek through in Vermont. It's called Inn to Inn. So you go and you stay in these bed and breakfasts for 7 days, and you hike through the fall, colors of Vermont, and then that's it.
That's it.
No, we're going to Ecuador too next May.
Nice.
So
in next May. So whatever, 10 months from now or 11 months from now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Norway. I think Norway in the summer. So we were in Sweden in May a couple of years ago, and it's beautiful. I mean, that is a cool part of the world that was not really on my radar. But I went and spoke at an event up there, and we happened to, well, not happened to, but we knew the people that hosted it, so they showed us around. And it is that, and we were earlier than you, but so even later it'll be unreal.
Yeah,
it was cool.
It's going to be daylight most of the time we're there at that time of
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. I wouldn't go the opposite. We were originally scheduled to go in January, and I was like, let's not do this. It's going to be dark forever. No, thank you. So, yeah, you'll miss out on some of our summer, but you might as well. I wouldn't recommend going in the winter to escape the winter here. So that's cool, man.
We're packing it in right now with, getting some boating in and stuff. Might go here after this today while the weather's still good because it's supposed to change here for the weekend.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Yeah, you got to get while you can.
Yep, you do. You never know when your last day of boating might be on North Idaho. I mean, between the weather that could happen or the smoke from the fires.
Yep. That is such a true statement. And also it's like one of the more exhausting things because you have that attitude. As soon as it's nice, like, okay, boat's in the water, we're going. Because like you said, there was a year, I think it was 2021 or 22 that the fires kicked off like right now. It was like Father's Day weekend. I think that Trestle Creek fire may have kicked off, and it was like all summer. So like you said, it's just got to be, you got to seize the day when you got it because you don't know. It's a somewhat sad allegory towards life. It's like you might as well make use of the time you got because you don't know when it's going to come to an end.
It's true. Yeah. Well, we had lightning last night. I mean, you just don't know when those fires are going to start. And it doesn't really matter if it's here or in Canada or California. We get the smoke. It just comes here.
Yeah. We're the smoke magnet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, like, with you, just back to a little bit of the fitness stuff, because
it's a fitness program.
Well, but it's both. Like, it's like, so one of the taglines I love is live a life you love for as long as you can. And, like, so you got to be able to do cool stuff and you got to be able to keep doing it for a long time. So, all the things that we just talked about you are kind of the definition of success for me. Hopefully you feel that way. Hopefully this isn't where you break up with us on this.
Never had anything like that before. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but seriously. And so, I mean, fitness and it all kind of blends together. But like, what was the intimidation part of it? And I was hoping earlier, not hoping, but I was kind of curious if you were going to say, listen, I came on that Saturday and it was you that drove me away because you said I was coaching or something. And then you ended up coming back for Amanda. And then, okay. Good. But what level of like, you said it was a little intimidating and then it came back through the other work. What did something change for you? Or was it just like, I'm going to go do this thing because you need to get ready for ski and that's how you just push over?
I mean, I'll do something and, in that case, it's been a long time. But I think what it was is I need to go back. And so it's always like, never just judge something on a first time visit, like a restaurant or whatever it might be, right? You might just be there on a bad night or your waiter's having a bad night or the chef forgot to, do something and, you got food poisoning and
Give me as a coach. Yeah.
but no, this was, it was a Saturday class. And I think there were it was open to new people. Yeah. And there was no charge. I forget what you called it. It was something. It had
probably
a little
community center. I do recall. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
But I think it was a regular class, right? So they weren't all new people.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know really what was going on, and it was just like, okay, this and that, and you're doing this and that, and then I kind of got it. But what I'm thinking is remembering is it seemed to be, like competitive. Well, that's because my mind, I think in my mind, I thought that this was a competition, CrossFit competition or whatever. Yeah. And then when I started coming again, I realized, well, that's not true at all. This is a team effort. It's a group of people. We're all friends and we all help each other,
Yeah.
And so when I was doing like the Fit to Ski stuff with Amanda, I mean, you kind of just gravitate towards certain people and I forget who it was, but there was somebody there that I kind of just paired up with and he was in a lot better shape than I was. I'm younger, but he was able to, we'd do the box step ups and, all that kind of stuff. And it was just fun. And so, it was grueling sometimes because because it's what it is. And I don't know, can I say the word CrossFit?
Sure. Yeah.
because
They haven't sued me yet.
it is that. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of cardio and some weight and different things and it's, you know, but yeah, we aren't all there dancing.
Not all of us.
Some of us.
Rick, mostly Rick. Rick Hard loves to dance.
In his
Yeah. What you touched on something. People are baffled. We don't do free trials like you anymore. We, like you said, we used to do that. If somebody's coming from another gym or they have experience and they understand the context of what it is, like for sure, we will allow that. But what you said about if you walk in to our gym and you try, or any gym for that matter, and you try a class and you are unaware of the fact that like there's a bigger plan involved, like this day is this, but tomorrow is going to be something completely different. And like, you kind of need to understand the experience of it to really get what we do. And so people are kind of like befuddled when I say, yeah, sorry, I actually won't. You're not allowed to do a free trial. I need you to I need you to come in. I want to talk about what we do, how we can help you. And then we'll talk about what your next step is. But your example there, it was kind of a perfectly planted little nugget that I did not tell you to say, but I appreciate you saying it because it is an experience that I've had people have for like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Like, well, here's what this means. Here's what this was. So yeah, thanks. And again, the same thing, like the camaraderie there, like first of all, everybody's so worried about how poorly they think they're doing. And either nobody cares, or B, they're happy that you are slower than they are because that means that they are not. So they're stoked that you're in there too.
Yeah.
But nobody's comparing. Nobody's judging. Nobody's like.
It's not that at all.
No.
I mean, it never has been. That's never even crossed my mind that I'm being judged.
Good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. But again, I think there's just like walking through the doors is often the heaviest lift is opening that door, literally for our door, because it's just kind of heavy, but also just walking through the door is the hardest thing for people to do because they assume that on the other side it's, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever they assume, but it's usually not, you and me, Amanda, like screwing around, laughing, teasing each other, having a good time, Rick teasing each other. So
yeah, well, I mean, fear is a huge thing that people don't really recognize what it causes. I mean, it's just that fear of the unknown, so you just don't do it, but you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you have to try it out, and again, I think you got to try it out more than once, because your mind can do weird stuff and just say, nope, it's not for me, and then you just don't go anywhere and you don't do it, And the other thing is like when I wake up and I want to go. I mean, I go 2 days a week. Right now it's been Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. for half an hour with Amanda, the one-on-one, and then I have another gym membership because I'm a senior citizen and my Medicare benefits allow me to go to another gym, that has this deal, and I don't have to pay him anything. It's part of my Medicare benefits. And I go once in a while. I mean, and I should go more. I don't have anybody waiting for me there.
Yeah, right. Right.
I don't have a bunch of people going, "Where's Lenny?"
Right.
Maybe I would if I went more often. I don't know. But yeah, so, but I want to go now. There was a time that it was kind of like it was hard. It was hard to, laying there in bed and thinking about, okay, God, I got 2 hours. I got to be at the gym. It's going to hurt. It's going to be bad. It's never hurt. It's never been. I mean, it's good. I feel good at the end of it. I was there this morning, and I came home and I just sat in a truck for a while, and I didn't even, I mean, I was like, it was a good workout, right? Yeah. I felt really good, but it was like, I wasn't ready to just jump out and start doing stuff really either. I needed a little time to recover, and I went for a little walk with the dog. And anyway, some days are different than others, but I still, I mean, I'm looking forward to coming back next week. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's just a thing. I do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that really transcends to a lot of the things you've described as far as what you're doing now. I know a lot of people who are younger than you, and not again. I don't want to be teeing this up like you're some ancient fossil here. You're not. You're still on the younger side of things, but there are people younger, like in their 50s, who have given up on skiing because, like, I just, what if I hurt myself, or what if all the fear things, or going to Ecuador, or going, leaving the country, or leaving their house. I think those fear things, like the what ifs, hold people back from a lot of really impactful and life changing type events that they're unfortunately missing out on.
Usually the thing I hear with skiing is people my age or whatever. Yep, it's my knees. I just can't do it, or I had knee surgery, or and it's like I know a lot of people that have had multiple knee surgeries and
Totally.
they still ski, you know. It's
Yeah.
it's but whatever somebody's got going on. I mean, I don't, it's their life, whatever. I want to ski. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm gonna ski. I want to ski into my 80s.
Yeah.
If not long.
Yeah.
Because then I get a free pass.
That's the motivation. Yeah, I got it.
Well, hopefully by then. I mean, it's 13 years away. There might not even be any snow by then. Who knows?
There might not be any snow, and Altera may not be honoring that same policy by then.
Or whoever owns it by then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I agree with you said a couple. One is like, if they don't have any interest in skiing, like, I'm not going to say, hey, you're missing out on this life-changing event. Like, you have to go and ski. But I think the fear where there is that inclination. They know, like, we get a one chance at this, as far as I know. Like, you might as well go try the thing. You might like it. You might have a cool story to tell. It might be harder than you think. It might be easier than you think. But I look up to you in a lot of ways because I like people who have different experiences than the majority. And you actually said the cruise thing. It's not usually your cup of tea. That's kind of like, okay, listen, like if you've gone to Mexico on the booze cruise, like, I'm not all that interested in hearing about your experiences in Mexico. Different. But the cruise that you're talking, like, that's, and what you're talking about with Ecuador, with this adventure down to, is it in Utah or Arizona?
It's in Arizona. Well, it's in
Arizona.
Go to Utah, but it's like, yeah, it's actually in the state of Arizona. It's just south of the Utah border.
Yeah. Okay.
Desert out there.
But the point is, like, most people aren't doing, like, that's a different experience. Those are the things that are once in a lifetime, or like just they're neat things that you can tell stories about. You can entertain other people with, like, these tales of, hey, you ever done this? No? Okay, cool. Well, here you go. So, but again, I think people are so fearful of it that they just don't.
It's like this last weekend. I recently joined Rotary, Sandpoint Rotary, and so Rotary sponsors the Chafe 150, which is a bike ride event. Most people locally know about it. But so I volunteered all weekend. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was volunteering for this event. And Sunday, we picked up signs. So myself and 3 other guys, and we could have gone in 2 different vehicles, but we decided to all go in one. And I was the youngest one in the truck. The guy driving, the owner of the truck, is going to be 80 in a couple of weeks. Mel Dick was another guy, and he's like an animal. I mean, he rides bikes like crazy.
Yeah.
He recently had a heart attack, and he's helping us pick up all these signs, and he's like the first one to the sign, and he's, and we worked from 8:30 till 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Jeez.
And we drove from here all down up 95 to Bonners Ferry, all the way over to Troy, back on the Bull River Highway, all the way back to near Knoxon there, and then back on Highway 2 all the way back to Sandpoint, picking up, I don't know, 100 signs, whatever it was. And anyway, I guess my point is that, these guys are active, people that are older than I am. And, and we're just, out there doing the thing, and everybody skis. And, you know, the 80-year-old, he's an avid skier.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I think that's the stuff that keeps. I've noticed that I've been here in Sandpoint for 15 years or so, and one of the things I've noticed is that the seasonality and the activity that's required to live here, even if you are, I don't know, the less active, like you have to move some snow. You've just got to be somewhat resilient, and I think it keeps people on the younger side because they are somewhat forced into activity. And then even more so, like if you are engaged in the activities that are outdoors that we have available to us, like biking and skiing and being on the lake, like it just tends to keep people younger. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. Just keep moving.
Personally, I think that if there wasn't a ski area here, I mean, I'm kind of biased to Sandpoint too, because I moved here when I was 2 years old. And I've lived here, went to high school here. My 50th year reunion is actually this summer, and I'm going to miss it, which is, whatever. I don't care. I've gone to other ones, and I see all the same people that I want to see there anyway. But
Right. Right.
But I've lived here my whole life, and that mountain has been a part of my life since I was 4 years old. Or 5, whatever it was when it first opened, and I moved away for a period of time, but I skied most of my life, and if it wasn't for the skiing here, that would be at least 50% of the reason I'm here still. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like shoveling snow. I mean, but when the wintertime comes, and now that there's social media or whatever, you just see more and hear more and more of it. But it's like people just bitch and moan about snow. I'm sorry, but you live in, northern Idaho. You've lived here for a long time. The snow, accept it or go somewhere else. But anyway,
no, it's true. It's not a surprise if you've moved here or you live here and you are surprised by the fact that it could snow for 6 months. Like you probably, I don't know what you were paying attention to, but there are resources for you to understand. Like there is a certain amount of snowfall that happens every year. So don't be shocked.
It'll be a rude awakening for a lot of people because it's just grown so much over the past 5 years, right? Then we really haven't had a big snow event like we get here once in a while. You've probably been here for at least one of them.
Oh yeah. It's usually, I think it's almost like an economic cycle. It's like every 8 or 10 years we seem to get absolutely hammered with snow.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last one, but it might have been close to 10 years ago. I feel like I want to say it's 2016.
Yeah. I think yeah.
And then 2008. And then I was up here for one of them before we moved here. And I just taken 2 weeks off and we just got hammered with snow. And it was a powder day every day forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do recall those things. And that is when we're having to hire dump trucks to move snow out of town and put it somewhere else. Like those are the seasons that a lot of for sale signs go up in March and April.
Yeah.
But again, it's what you make of it. And I mean, I think by the end of the gray, I'm ready for it too. The short days can be a bit wearing, but the snow and the winter activities are kind of what you make of it. And if you decide you want to ski and play and whatever, snow bike or I don't know, whatever your cup of tea is to make lemonade out of lemons, that's what you need to do.
I agree.
So, well, cool, man. What's your big nugget you want to share with everybody? How to kick more ass like Lenny Hess, which is probably what I'm going to call this podcast now.
I guess I should have thought of something before we started.
That's all right. You can edit it back in.
It's just, honestly, I think it's just movement.
Yeah.
If you're moving, you're doing it, and to stay strong, the strengthening is really important. Because that's my bones and my muscles are what keep this body upright, and I just need to keep them maintained and keep them sharp. Be able to do stuff. Be able to. We've got these big rubber plants that are like, we just wish they'd go away or die or something, and we've had to put them in these bigger pots, and we moved them out of this room we call the blue room out into the garage because we want to do some remodeling. We don't know what we're going to do with these plants, but I've got to move them out into the sun and then back into the garage every night. And every time I'm pulling on this thing and it hangs up on this little rubber strip that goes where the garage door comes down, and I got to like pull it over that, and then there's like this grate, and then I get stuck in there and I'm pulling it over this thing, and there's two of them, and I just know I'm going to hurt myself, but I'm not, because I know to engage my core, and it's not that they're that bad, really. I mean, there's no way I could lift them and carry them. I'm not even going to try. But just even pulling them and having to bend over and grab them, put my fingers down through the thing and into the dirt and pull this thing, it's just not a natural movement.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't strong and didn't know how to just think first and just engage my core, it's something so simple, to save my back. Because I've had back injuries. I mean, I'm not I've pretty much almost broke my back in a car wreck a long time ago.
Wow.
And, same thing with my neck. Anyway, it's just, I got to be careful. And I don't know, I wouldn't even be moving the plants. I wouldn't even think about doing it if it wasn't, for me staying in good shape, No,
that's awesome.
And it's the move.
You did say you wanted them dead, though, or did you not? That was something. I think you said that you were hope they'd go away or die. I don't feel like you're. I know how to help you with this. I can solve this problem for you. Oh, wow, they'll definitely die if I take care of them.
Back around, I see like on either side of that couch or futon.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah. They'd be nice.
No, love it. No, I've killed more plants than, and this is on accident. This is not like I'm not on a mission to do it. I just, I don't know. I'd like to think something optimistic. Maybe it's I kill my food, like there's something along those lines, but I don't know. I'm just don't have the green thumb. I have the black thumb of death. So if you want your plants dead, I'll babysit them for you, and I can promise you the outcome that will happen. But that's good. Yeah, the ability to do the things that maybe you don't even want to be doing is nice. You said the continuation of like the continual movement, like that was a nugget you did say earlier, and also just I don't know, not even getting over your fears, because it didn't sound as though that was like a big hang up for you, but like just knowing that there's a lot of cool stuff on the other side of it.
I think it was, but I mean that's over. You know what I mean? It's always that way with, I think, making a commitment.
Yeah. Like
going to the gym on a daily basis or whatever it might be for someone. Yeah. It's a huge commitment. And I mean, I know people that, I'm going to just, work out at home. And, and there's clothes on their treadmill. It's a good place to hang their clothes and dry them. They've never used it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
For me, I've got to go somewhere and do it there and be accountable to something or somebody. I mean, that's just me.
No, it's not just you. It's everybody. I mean, there's, like you said, there are thousands of dollars of wardrobes hanging on $1,000 of worth of exercise equipment at home. And I've been the fortunate beneficiary of some of that because I buy it and bring it to the gym. They're like, this has 6 meters on this rower. Sweet. And that's how it goes. And there, you can look on Facebook Marketplace right now, and there is a litany of exercise equipment that never got used because people just need, even the people that are like, they'll say they're introverts or they don't like being around other people. I think that's not always the truth. And even if you're introverted, I would be self-described as an introvert, and I dramatically prefer working out with a group of people or in a gym, like with other, like just the energy and engagement is just, it's just fun. So,
yeah.
Well, cool, Lenny. I'll let you get out on the boat, man. It's a nice day. The weather's going to change probably within the next 10, 12 hours, so you might as well get out there and enjoy it.
I know.
But thank you for doing this. I hope this, like you said, I caught wind of the fact that I think you were a little nervous doing this before. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was told. And now here we are. You step through the door and embraced your fears, and I don't think, was it that bad?
No, it was great. I loved it.
Good. Good. All right.
I got Joe Rogan again.
Yeah, I better let you go before you, so you can get on there before you go outside. All right, man. Well, if I don't see you sometime on the lake or whatever in the next couple hours, then I'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Hope you are inspired to do more cool stuff, to step through into your fears and do the thing, even if you're afraid, and inspired to just keep moving, because I think that is the answer to all of our problems. And if you need help with that, like you need some accountability, as Lenny and I both acknowledge that that's a big secret to our successes, then that's what we're here for. Shoot me an email, Kenny@samepointstrength.com. Happy to help get you started and help you be more like Lenny. All right.